Hey everyone, welcome to the Queen City Golf channel. This is my first full-length YouTube video, so would appreciate a subscribe and like. But here's 18 holes at the 500 Club up in Statesville, North Carolina, about 45 minutes north of uptown Charlotte. Solid first tee shot of the day, although I landed in the fescue, had about 111 to this flag. Went with a gap wedge, just wanted to get this on the green. Did just that, and want to just lag this close, start the day with a nice tap-in par. For a second there, thought I had that birdie. Definitely don't want that to start the day, though. You all know what that means. But as we move on to hole number 2, we've got a pretty straightforward par 3. Caught this one a little thin, still warming up after that long drive up to the club, but not in a bad spot to miss. Downhill, right to left putt, strong lag putt right here for another nice easy tap in par, and we are even through 2. Moving on to 3, it's a short dogleg left par 4. There is a fairway bunker, as you can see there on the right. I was a little off balance on this. Luckily, I went farther right than I intended. Landed in the rough, had about 115 to this flag, again with a gap wedge. Blocked it out to the right a little bit, still caught a piece. And I've got a lengthy birdie putt coming up here. Lab Golf putter, DF3 was dialed to start this round. Putting on a clinic with those lag putts. Another tap in par. We're even through 3. Number 4, we got a 405-yard par 4. This was the best swing of the day thus far. Body's feeling much looser, balanced, and I piped this right down the middle. Position A. Had about 83 yards to this pin. Pulled out my 58-degree wedge. And it's tracking. And one of my better wedge shots that I've gotten on video. Now let's see if we can keep the momentum rolling. Get in this birdie putt. Had this pretty straight. Went inside right edge and just hit my line and hit it with some pace. And we're 1 under heading into the 5th. Now I don't like this hole whatsoever. Downhill par 3. I went with a 7-iron and I pulled it. I got lucky and found my ball. As you can see, I could have very easily lost that. And it was a tough lie. Tried to just flop it. Went a bit too far and rolled out. 30 feet or so back for a par putt. Luckily, the lag putts were good that day and tapped in the bogey. And we're par 5 of the day, number 6. Oddly shaped hole. Have to hit less than driver because of a creek. So I hit 2-iron there. Set up a nice layup shot with my 8-iron. Just want to get to that bottom portion where it's a bit more of a flat lie. And on the approach here, had about 135, 140. Went with a pitching wedge. Hit it well. And for a second, I thought this had a chance of being in the hole. Had about 7 to 10 feet downhill. I was a bit nervous on this putt. Couldn't really read it. But I'll take another tap in par. We're even heading into the 7th. 7th hole is a drivable par 4. Card says 364. It's really about 325 to 330. I didn't have a good swing on that one though. And this was just some bad luck. Hit a tree, bounced right back into the fairway. Now I've got to get close, try to save par, and I clipped this one perfectly. Hop, skip, and it stopped just behind the hole for a 3-footer for par, and we saved it. Heading into the second par 5 of the day, 8th hole. This was a massive duck hook. Wasn't even close to the fairway. Luckily missed the pond. From here, I knocked down 7. I didn't take enough club though. Ended up hitting the top of the bunker, green side, and rolling back in. I am not that great out of the bunkers. Still practicing all the time and just can't figure it out. At least I'm out though. That's a win. Don't forget, everyone. Got to rake those bunkers. Got a very long lag putt from just off the green. I did not know what this putt was doing. And missed the par putt there. Just had to clean it up on the way back for a bogey. And we go to the 9th. 9th hole, blind tee shot over the hill. A lot of people don't like this hole. This is one of my favorites on the front 9. As you can see, I hit this one perfectly. Only had about 110, 115 to this flag. Went with a gap wedge, 50 degree, and landed this just behind the flag. Set myself up for birdie. Thought I had this, but I'll take a nice tap in par. Finish the front 9 1 over 37. Here we go for the back. Moving on to the back 9. Here's number 10. 2-iron off the tee because the fairway ends at about 290. Not a great start to the back after a great front, but found it still. Had about 195, went with a 5-iron. Struck this really well. Couldn't see it first, but then caught it bouncing on the green just off into the fringe. Had this for birdie. Slowed up and had a bit of a stressful putt for par, but able to sink it, and we're 1 over heading into 11, one of my least favorite holes on the entire course. And fantastic start to this hole, right into the dead area. I do find it. I take a 6-iron, trying to hack it out, just get it in the fairway. My club face just got annihilated by that thick grass. Managed to get this back onto the fairway now, hitting 3 with a 7-iron, leaving me with a little bit over 220. Went with 4-iron, hit it off the toe. Not a balanced swing. Just really struggling on this hole. 4th shot, 54 degree out of the rough. Just trying to get this one close to get a bogey. Had this from about 7 feet. Downhill, I was stressed. But I somehow managed to make that for bogey. Saved the no doubles on the scorecard still. Coming into the 12th, 2 over for the round. Long par 3. Went with 5-iron off the tee. Caught it chunky. And I hooked it. Luckily, it opens up over there. One more bounce, though, and it would have went into the pond. Chipping up. Didn't get nearly as much as I wanted to. And set myself up with about 20, 25 feet for par. Gave it a chance. Just at the end, it tailed over to the left. And cleaned this one up for another bogey. Back to back. 3 over heading into 13. Short par 4. Went with 4-iron off the tee. It's not really a safe play to hit driver. It narrows up pretty significantly. Went with 54 with the approach shot. Caught it a little bit fat. Ended up short. Giving myself an opportunity to chip and save par. Solid chip here. Setting up a 5-footer for par. Cleaned that up nicely. We're 3 over heading into 14. Pretty straightforward par 4, and I hooked this one. Bad swing. I rushed it. Over there in the fescue. The approach shot here had about 180. Went with a 7-iron. I hit this really well. I just lined up incorrectly. As you can see, hit my patented draw and wound up almost pin high. Was able to clip this one, set myself up for another par save with the 54 degree. And this one gave me a heart attack because this went through around the entire hole and then in. But it's a par. No pictures on the scorecard. 15th hole, nice stinger tee shot. Just want to run it up there. Not trying to go anywhere near those trees on the right or the bunker on the left. 54 degree from 105 out. I was nervous this was going to go in the bunker, but able to catch a piece and roll forward, setting up this birdie putt. And we drained it. Back to 2 over, heading into the 16th par 3. This was one of my better swings on a par 3 today. As you can see, the butt cheeks clench. I thought this was in. But coming up to the green, we were just over. Had about 10 feet downhill for birdie. And it just didn't move. It looked like it was going to. Clean this up for a par. Move on to the par 5. Try to birdie this. Get closer to even par for the round. And yeah, that's another duck hook. Caught the trees. Went directly down into the fescue. Just laying up with a 7-iron. Great shot here. Great swing. Clean contact. Just center cut. Setting myself up now for an approach from 175. Went 7-iron again. Unfortunately, pulled this one a bit. Gave myself the absolute longest putt you can have on this pretty large green. From about 40 feet away. The lag putts were good all day. This one went a little bit too far. So coming back up the hill for par. My knees were shaking a little bit. But we drain it. Confidence going into the last hole. Par 4, 18th. Long par 4. Big sweeping draw. Didn't catch any of the fairway, but got stuck up in the rough on the left. Went with an 8-iron, and it ended up flying on me. I thought this was going to be close, and then as it kept going, it was like probably 20 yards past the flag. Now I'm chipping back. Tough chip. Rolls out more than I want it to. Setting up a par putt from about 15-20 feet. Never had a chance of going in. Never had a chance. But that's golf. 3 over 75 for the day. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to subscribe and see you soon.